Right, I'm trying to tidy the shed out a bit. I'm getting these smaller welding jobs out of the way. So here's the fire pot for the core forge. And I'm just gonna have this here I don't know, saucer maybe for a drum mower underneath it. I think this one's one for a 5-foot mower. It'll be enough. I'll put a 2-inch brim on it. I'm gonna fill it all with refractory cement. It's gonna, this here thing, this is actually the pot, the fire pot. I'm not sure if you can see me, to be honest. Just gonna shift that over. So this here is the fire pot, and then all this is just cavity for refractory cement to cast into, and that way I'm not actually depending on the steel. This bit can just rust out and it won't matter a bit. The cement underneath it's actually going to be the core pot itself in the end. I've just tacked this one in, and I've done some stitch welds on the bottom. Now the bottom of this, this plate to that there edge is not actually meant to be structural. The legs are meant to be outside, so all that's going to be off of this is the air intake and the clinker tin, maybe the breaker as well. So I'm not actually too concerned about strength there. It's got, what's that, 6, 9, 12 stitches on it, which is plenty really. Even if they're not wetted properly, which they look like it, you know, you never know how much. Yeah, most of them look fine, so I'm not gonna worry too much. Now this should be square. It's a little over a foot, so what's that? That's 315, 315. So I'll just cut. I'll cut 3-1 out of that, and then I can just plop it through then. So I'm just gonna have to make a square there. I should have marked that out before welding it up really, but whatever. So I'm just gonna mark that out, and I'm gonna cut it out, and I'm gonna weld the other bit to this. Maybe clean it out a bit as well. I'm not actually sure if I'll weld some angle irons or something into here to have cement adhere to. We'll see about that. It's coming along. I haven't done the feed tube and the clinker pot yet. I could do that after filling it. I don't think I'm gonna do it tonight. I ain't got time left, I don't think. Oh no, I haven't. So that's enough for tonight. It's alright. I'm probably gonna do something to reinforce the legs. I can't even remember what that is. 1.5 maybe. Maybe it's not that much. 1.25 inch box that is. So 40 mil maybe. And just some of that cold roll box. It fits pretty good in it. I had it about, so that'll do. So long as I maybe put some bracing to the main pot or something, I think that'll be strong enough. I've done it here. I think it's about the same level as the forge, so it should be pretty comfortable height. The elbow's going to be a bit bent to hold a piece of metal just above the fire here, so I'm hoping that's going to be good. Either way, this here for transport and whatnot, just up and pull the leg out, and it should pack up pretty easy. I should make some sort of cack for it as well, because this will probably live outside for the time being, and I don't want that that refractory cement to be in the element. So I may make some sort of cap. I may put vinyl tarp over it. However I do that, it doesn't really matter. I think it's going to be an alright size. I can't remember what this is. I think it's 8x8 on top. Yeah, it's a little more than 8x8 on top. So once the cement's on, it's going to be about 8x8 by 8 and 4 maybe in the bottom. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what that works out for volume, but it's a smallish coal pot. The thing about this is I'm going to have a table around, so I'm going to have plenty of room to build a fire up. So I think it's going to make a big enough pot of coals, so that the heat is going to be at sort of here, and so it's not going to be too big to start up, but it's going to be, it might be big enough that I can cook stuff here. I'm hoping to weld with this forge, so we'll see about that. But it's fairly alright. The legs are bending a bit, but because of a design maybe, and because they're not braced yet. But I think it'll do. Then it's getting late. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. This here is 30 or 40 pounds worth of refractory cement. I think about 20 or that might be 25 kilos will all go into that. If not, I'm just gonna have some waste. So I'm not pouring it once and pouring it again. And nah, fuck that. One go in. I think it'll all go in. So I'm gonna give it a go. How do I open this now? It doesn't look big. I just cut it. I've got a drill ready, and I hear that refractory cement's very dry, which makes sense because you want to be able to get the moisture out pretty quick, and so getting it to set all depends on how you vibrate it, or usually you'll vibrate it. So I got an air hammer. I tried to find a Hilti. Fortunately, I have my own air hammer, and one of them has chisel in it, and it seems to be vibrating pretty good. So I'm going to use that to get it settled, and then as it settles, the moisture should come to the top. Now, also, I'm supposed to mix this well. I haven't got what you call it to make sure there aren't any lumps, and it's graded well, but whatever. So I think it does feel pretty coarse. This stuff is meant to have a mixture of, I can't even remember what grains. For a refractory cement, it's meant to have combustible fibres so that it can breathe. So you heat it up and then it burns those out, and then the cast is meant to be able to breathe. I'm not sure if this is castable. I'm sure I was looking for castable when I was but whatever. I don't think it's nearly mixed enough yet. I'm just gonna handle it with a trowel a bit and see how it feels. Oh, it does feel very dry then. It is supposed to, I suppose. I don't do a lot of mortar. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going for. But, hopefully I'll have a usable fork adjuster. Think about this one that I'm not quite sure I'm not quite sure if it's gonna be alright for it still in the metal container. It's not going to expand at the same rates that the mortar is going to. It might make it more likely to crack. Not that I really mind too much about that, so long as the middle set's still there. It could be a powder for all I care, so long as the frame is still intact. The point of this is just if you have it in metal, the metal's going to absorb all the heat. If it's thin, it's going to rust out bloody quickly. If it's thick, it's going to take a lot of heat out of a fire. So if you have a bit of mortar, you give something so the fire can heat up a little better, heat up more overall. And the frame should last a little longer. I don't have a base, so I suppose I'll just chuck it straight into a bucket. I say that I'll try it. If it won't work, it won't work, and I'll just have to spend the money again. The instructions don't come with these concrete and stuff, so Well, this is where I stand with it. It's not looking too bad. The concrete didn't go, the mortar didn't go as far as I had expected, but it's plenty far enough. And it gives me a good place to have cold storage, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's not, that is perfectly acceptable. So I think we'll see you tomorrow and see how it sets up. Can't remember how long it was. I think it ought to be left probably 2 days or so, maybe longer. I'm gonna leave a radiator under it overnight. I'm not sure if I'll put something over it because it might dab into the mortar and that wouldn't be so good, but I might put the heater underneath it anyway. So that isn't looking too bad.